Chantelle, first of all, thanks for joining me. Now, we sit here chatting, it's towards the end of 2020, the end of probably the strangest year, certainly in my lifetime, maybe in yours as well. But how satisfied are you that you sit here now as a two-weight world champion?
Over the moon, because who would have known it, especially with the way this year was going, to actually get something from the year that has made the year the best year of my life. So from such a disaster for year to being one of the best years of my life in the situation we're in, it's quite incredible, really.
Did you think at the start of 2020 that you'd be saying that less than a year later?
So the plan was to box for a world title this year, but then Corona come into play, and obviously that was like March, April, about April time, and then I was like, this year's not my year. So when I was looking back at 2019 New Year's Eve, thinking 2020 is going to be my year, it's going to be a massive year, and then it come with Corona, I was like, I wish I could take back them words, but it did. In the end, it played out for me because I won my world title, which I didn't think was going to be achievable this year, considering the pandemic.
When the pandemic struck, did you think that you've got to really be patient now? Because obviously, if
Yeah.
boxing's been affected like hugely with no fans, no crowd, that's for you, for boxers, ticket sales are so crucial for you to actually earn any money from the sport, right?
Yeah, I've had to be really patient. Even now, it's having to be patient because I'm even though I'm a world champion, I'm still losing sponsors. I don't have no deals in place. So even now, I'm a world champion, and in my mindset is just stay patient. Something's going to come up, and things are going to get better. This time at the moment is not going to be around forever. It's going to ease up, and things are going to start going back to normal. But even now, it's still having to be patient. And you don't know what's going to happen. Like, will we go into another lockdown? Will the gym shut down again? You just don't know. So I think the best thing to do in this situation, even now, is be patient and just look for the best in any situation.
How do you keep yourself motivated with those thoughts around, knowing that, yeah, we could go into another lockdown, gyms might close, fans might not come back in the numbers that we're hoping. So, how difficult is that to keep yourself motivated?
It is very difficult, but when you're a world champion, I think you have to stay motivated because I'm a target now and somebody wants this belt of me. So for me, that's my motivation, is that I look at my belt and think, I can't lose you to somebody else because somebody else is more motivated than me. Like, you don't have time to switch off. So for me, my belt now is my motivation because I don't want to be handing it over to anyone. Just because I lost focus and I lost a bit of motivation because of the pandemic. I just got to keep moving forward and keep pushing and keep improving, regardless of the situation we're in.
Absolutely. I just want to go back a little bit further before the pandemic hit, back to 2019, if you don't mind. Now, how are you feeling in 2019 when I'm going to read out a quote that I read that you said, "I'm sick of the circumstances around chasing money." You talked about your relationship with Cyclone. You said, "They know the distress they've caused me and how isolated they made me feel, humiliated and just deflated. They had no time for a female boxer." That was in 2019. Can you believe that the change since 2019 to where you are today, since feeling at that moment where you, from all intents and purposes, you just seemed at the lowest point possibly of your boxing career?
Definitely, I think I've got to give all the praise there to Jamie and Nigel and MTK, because if it wasn't for them, then I would have retired. I would have retired with achieving nothing, and it would have been my biggest regret because I think I would have always looked back and thought, what if I persevered and what if I just kept trying, then would I be in the position I'm in now? And I would have been. But at that time in my career, I had enough. My family had enough for seeing me so distressed. My mum mainly my mum, she was adamant. She wanted me to quit because I think she was just sad of seeing me sad. So it was a big moment, and I've made a big decision and it paid off. And really all I can ever say is I'm just thankful to Jamie, Nigel and MTK. That's all I can say in the matter, really, because if it weren't for them, then I would have packed up a long time ago.
What do you think you'd have done if you did pack up?
Probably had a boring job that I hated, waking up every morning thinking, oh, I'm sick of this. But no, I reckon I would have tried to go to university, done a sports coaching course, and then gone on to do a year teaching degree, because I always wanted to be a PE teacher. So I think even if I did give up, I would have looked at a new career, a new chapter, and just seen it as something else. And to be fair, I probably would have gone into MMA. I don't think I'd ever would have quit fighting. I imagine I would have gone into MMA, because I think I'm not the sort of person that cannot fight. I feel like I get a bit, if I don't go training and stuff, I start getting a bit irritated and frustrated and have to hit something. So bags and pads or sparring, obviously. So I think I would have had to go into another combat, because it would have driven me insane.
Now, you mentioned MMA. There was an announcement very recently of a certain boxer, Claressa Shields, who's going into MMA. She's announced that she's going to compete in, I believe, in the summer. She's looking at not quitting boxing necessarily. What do you make of that move?
Good move, yeah. I think why not? Because keeps you busy, keeps money in your bank, and why not? Like, I've seen some of her videos as well, and she's looking good. So I'm actually genuinely excited to see her MMA fight. So I think why not? Yeah, I'd have a go at it.
Would you?
Yeah.
So would you watch this to see how it plays out with Claressa, to see if actually, see how successful it is? Is it possible to do boxing and MMA at the same time? Would you be watching that closely and go, well, absolutely, if I can earn a living from this, then why not?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, for me personally, I'd rather focus on my boxing career, because obviously Claressa's in a different stage for her career than me. She's undisputed. She's done everything really, hasn't she? 2 Olympic gold medals, undisputed champion. So I think for Claressa, it's a lot different. Whereas for me, I've not achieved what I've wanted to achieve. Like, I've won the WBC world title, but for me, that's not enough. I want to be undisputed. So I think for me, I'd go into MMA when I was coming to the back end of my boxing career, when, fingers crossed, that I've achieved what I wanted to achieve, because I wouldn't want to lose focus and kind of like be distracted a little bit. Whereas I think for me personally, if I did go into MMA now, I would lose a bit of distraction away from the boxing side of things. So I will be watching, but I think personally I need to stay focused on boxing for now, and a couple of years or whatever, then going into MMA. But I am going to Belfast tomorrow to do some training with Liam McCourt. So, but what's training?
It all starts with training, though, doesn't it? I guess in sport, we always look for like trailblazers, somebody to do something first. Is this possibly going to be a theme, though, further down the line, that more
I think so.
boxers, maybe male boxers as well, might go and start competing in MMA?
I genuinely think this is going to be a trailblazer. I think a lot more people now will start switching, because it kind of does make sense, because this year, obviously because of the pandemic, I did only box once this year, but that's because of the situation we're in. But some boxers, if they are only boxing once or twice a year, why not go into another sport, earn more money, and get in the ring and fight? Because it makes sense, because at the end of the day, if you want to do this as a career, it's like any job, you want to earn as much money as you can. And if you keep yourself busy, keep yourself in camp, then why not? Just don't get injured.
That's the big problem, right?
That's the thing, injuries, like getting your arm snapped and all that. That's why I'm going to stick to boxing for now.
It's not a bad idea. But let's go back and let's talk about boxing then. So you moved up to light welterweight. You moved up because at the time you were saying, I'm not going to sit around and wait for Katie Taylor. How long can you wait for Katie Taylor, do you think?
I've kind of give up on it now, because I think if it happens, it happens, and I'll be so grateful, and the opportunity would be amazing, and it's my dream fight, so I'll be ecstatic. But at the same time, I'm not holding my breath anymore. I feel like if you waste energy on something for too long, then that's wasted energy. Whereas there's opponents now in front of me that I need to be focused on, because it's a hard division at super welterweight, light welterweight as well, because they're all good champions. It's not like there's going to be any easy fight now. So for me personally, I want to focus on what's actually achievable in front of me, and that's boxing the champions in my weight division now. Because waiting around and wasting energy on Katie, and it's never going to happen. That's just a waste of energy. So it'd be good if it did happen, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Can you understand why people are asking questions about it? I know you've talked about Kate Taylor before. That is, you openly just said it's your dream fight. You know, you joined Matchroom, the Matchroom camp this year. You kind of look at it from the outside and go, okay, the possibility seems closer than ever before. Is that not the case?
Yeah. I think there's other people in front of me that she wants to fight, and I don't think she would willingly want to fight me. So I feel like there's other women that are going to get the opportunity to fight her. And like, how many more fights has Katie got in her? And I'm probably bottom of the list. So I just don't think it's a fight that she would want to take willingly.
Why is that?
I think she knows that I'm a danger, and I'm not my style of fighting is not what she would rather get in the ring with, because she knows that I've got high work rate, I hit hard, and I am relentless, and I will keep coming forward. And as you've seen, she struggles with that. So it's all risk, no reward.
So concentration now, unifying the division, is that the next step?
Yeah, hopefully if everything goes to plan, is unify the division.
And if you're sitting here, we're sitting here at the end of 2020 now, if you're sat here and we had like a magic ball that we could predict the future, what does 2021 look like for you?
I'd have all the belts sat around me. And I would be like, yeah, I've done it. I've done it within a year. So yeah, that would be the dream. But it'd be amazing, yeah, to be undisputed by the end of 2021.
So what we're going to do, I'll book in a new appointment for a year's time on this day.
I'm going to set a reminder on my phone.
Set a reminder on your phone and have those belts ready in the background in a year's time.
If I don't have the belts, I'm going to delete the reminder. Like, scrap that.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Before I let you go, what do you think about women's boxing right now, where it's at? Because at the moment, it from all intents and purposes, it feels like it's flying. It's growing tenfold. Certainly in this country, we've got so many fighters coming through now. How do you feel being one of those people that everyone's looking up to? You're leading that charge for women's boxing right now.
I think it's great because I feel like, as you said, women's boxing is flying, and you've got to give all the credit there to Eddie Hearn, Matchroom and Sky Sports, because they're headlining they're headlining female shows. They had a free headliner women's boxing show. So yeah, you got to give credit again to them, because they've took a risk and a gamble, and the women have pulled through, and it's pushing women's further and further. So I think it's good to be part of it, part of what's going on, because I think the younger generation coming up, they're going to be better than us. I feel like the skill and the talent is going to be second to none. So I think it's going to be exciting for the younger generation coming up and taking our place, and how much forward the women's boxing is going to be. I think it's going to be a lot better.
Does that motivate you, knowing that the younger generation are going to be coming through? They are going to be after it, because we've seen what, say, Katie Taylor has done, certainly to the sport, seeing what you're doing right now in the sport as well. Does that not motivate you, though, that, you know what, I've got a lot still to give. I've got a lot to show these young guns, that it's not easy at the top, and I want to show you how tough I am?
I think it's important to show the younger generation as well that there is more to life than boxing. So if you are at school, make sure you do all your studies. Think about your A-levels and university and that, because that's just as important. I think it's so easy for people to look at us women on TV boxing and thinking it's the all and everything, but it's not. It is amazing, and with hard work and dedication, you can be at the top, but at the same time, it's also important to have an education just as much. And I think for me, that's more important to show the younger generation that still live your life, still make the most of your life, train hard, enjoy it, keep winning. But remember, it's all about balance.
I don't think I could have said it, and anybody could have said that any better. Great. Right, we'll leave it there, Chantelle. Honestly, thank you so much. That was amazing.